Alright, you guys, so welcome back to the channel. Most of you guys know I do mainly equipment and truck and tractor and mower videos, but occasionally I get asked to do some other reviews, sponsored, supplied, whatever you want to call it. And so a lot of times they don't make sense to the channel, so I don't necessarily take to them. But somebody offered me these, Amysen did, A-M-Y-S-E-N, and I had to think to myself, where on earth could I use these in my shop? And it took me a while, and I thought of some things, and I thought they'd be really cool, the things that I thought that I could use them with. Now, you usually don't think that you could use these in a shop, but I had some ideas I'll share with you guys about where you can use these. And before I get started, if you're interested after the video of getting one of these, there is a link below with a promo code to purchase one of these. You can get it through Amazon and Prime or whatever. And that link will help sponsor the channel and get better, more frequent reviews for you guys of the equipment and things that you guys like generally, a little bit more. But what these are the smart Wi-Fi plug from Amysen. This is a 2-pack. So essentially, it's they're little plug interceptors, as you guys can see, that go between your outlet and your wall and whatever device you're plugging in, and you can control it via your phone or I believe the computer as well. But mainly your phone, and you can do them more than just turn it on and turn it off, which I'll show you guys later, but you can do significantly more things than you would think. The app is very pretty cool about what you can control and automate. So you can control it by like temperature, humidity, sunrise, sunset, all that kind of stuff. You can go in and adjust it and have those kick on, kick off, and do be controlled that way instead of just flicking it on, flicking it off with your finger. So let's get started here. The box is pretty basic box. It's good quality, nice paper, I guess. If you're going to buy it, you're probably not really interested in the box, but we can go over some of the specs here. It's model JSM WF02. It's capable of 1800 watts, which is 15 amps, resistive load. Operating temperature is -20 to 45 degrees C, and only works on 2.4 gigahertz internet. So that's important. Most Wi-Fi routers are capable of 2.4 nowadays. Usually it's we're getting into the higher gigahertz nowadays, but 2.4 is pretty standard. And working humidity is less than 80%. But looking around, they give you some ideas. You control lights, fans. I guess that's an oven or a microwave. I'm not really sure. Or maybe a TV. Probably a TV. Washer, dryer, refrigerator, stereo. It's capable of working with Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant. Let's see what it says up here. Remote access control from anywhere, scheduling, compact design, and finger grip resets. And a little bit of Chinese lettering. Alright, we can get into it here. That's what it looks like pretty much when you open it up. You get these little directions packet, which is really, really tiny lettering. The app pretty much walks you through what you need to know. Here's the device itself. Pretty simple. It just kind of looks like a plug multiplier, if you ask me. It's got a little power button on the side, and pretty much regurgitates what was on the box on here. These are FCC approved, so they've been tested for frequency and harmful ray releases, that kind of stuff. And pretty important that you have that, especially some of these machines, some of the stuff from China, how many there are. It's really important that you get something approved that meets the qualifications of the United States, and it's not going to like burn your house down or something like that. So yeah, these definitely meet all the requirements to work in the United States. But yeah, they're really simple. This is a 2-pack. I believe you can get it in different size packages, but it's a 2-pack. They're pretty cheap for what they are, price-wise, but the build quality is really good. They're sealed in. Amysen, or however you want to say it, has little finger grips inside here. That's their special addition to it. There's like 1,000 different plugs online, and this one's pretty good. I'll show you guys later, but the app works really well compared to some of the other plugs. But yeah, here's pretty much a plug, Wi-Fi plug here. So essentially the design is so that it doesn't, there's different Wi-Fi plugs that are kind of round like this and have the plug in the middle. Turns out those block the plug above it, so you only effectively have one plug per outlet. This kind of solves that by being able to accommodate an extra plug above as well. So even if you want to run 2 of these at a time in the same outlet, you can, or if you want to run a different plug in a different outlet, you can. There we go. All right, so what I was thinking for a shop, these, since these can be controlled by numerous different ways, I was thinking that these would be really good if you have to use a block heater in the winter. That's the first thing that came to mind when it came to a shop. Whether you want to control it, maybe you got a block heater for your tractor even, and you want to plug it in, and say you want it to be ready to go at a certain time when you wake up in the morning, or you know, maybe just spur of the moment you need to get it warmed up to temperature in the winter to go snowblow or something just randomly. These will work great for that, because you can program in the app to come on. Say if it gets below 30 degrees, you can tell it if it gets below 30 degrees, run it for 15 minutes, 30 minutes to warm up that oil in your tractor or something like that, and have it ready to go when you're ready. And you don't really have to do anything. You don't have to go out in the cold and plug it in or anything like that. You can just flick it on with your phone and flick it off with your phone, or set it on a timer, whatever you want to do. Where I live, it doesn't get cold enough to need block heaters, but that's the first thing that came to mind. So one of the more, something that I thought would be good for my shop is, I have an air compressor I have in my shop. It runs on a 15 amp circuit, so it's a small air compressor, and it's constantly plugged in. I have a big line reel, hose reel. I'll actually show you guys it. Got a big hose reel up there that runs compressed air, and it runs all the way through my shop here, down to my Makita air compressor, which is a really good air compressor, by the way. I have a video on that. But I have a line there, and something I frequently forget to do is turn it off when I'm done for the day. And something that would turn into a nightmare is if it blew a hose like overnight when I wasn't here, and I have it on and it just ran continuous all the way up maybe 8 to 10 hours until I get back in here. That would be a disaster, because odds are that would probably either thermally overload or just completely blow itself, and that would be bad. It's a really bad habit of mine, but what I was thinking, it'd be a really good idea to connect one of these Wi-Fi plugs in between the plug of that and the outlet, and then have it set to turn off a certain time of day or night. And so when I do leave my shop, A, I can ensure that that's not going to kick on, and B, I can ensure that it's off with this. I can go on the phone and see that it's actually shut off in my shop. So that's kind of cool. And I'll actually give you guys a quick demonstration here. I'll show you guys the app first. Throw that back in there. So looking at the app, get into my phone here. So the app is called Smart Life, this app right there. Excuse my shattered screen. My dog likes to take my phone and chew on it. But as you can see, I already have mine set up here. They're offline because they're not plugged in, and this one's on a different Wi-Fi network right now. But you can go in here and kind of see. Hopefully it'll let you. Okay, I'm going to have to plug it in. But when you add devices, so let's see, you go up here and add. You guys can see there's tons of different devices it'll let you add. But I'm going to go ahead and go plug this in, and I'll get right back with you guys. Alright, you guys, so back with you here. I went ahead and plugged one of them into my air compressor. As you can see, I called it air compressor. And now it is in line with my air compressor, and I'll show you guys really quickly what you guys can do to it. If you click on the air compressor, you have a switch to flick it on and off manually, which is this big button, or it says switch down here. Left time, that's kind of like a timer. You can click schedule here and add schedule, and you can add in a certain time of day you want them to come on. Say, I'll just flick a random number in there. Only once. You can have it come on certain days, and decide whether you want it on or off. So we'll go ahead and save that. So you can see afternoon at 6:19, and that's one cycle. I can go in and change it to, maybe I want it certain days, and save. I can have it on certain times of day. That's really good for if you have a light at the front of your house you want to come on, or maybe even Christmas lights you want to come on a certain time of day. Helps save electricity and better regulate when it comes on. But the cool thing I wanted to show you guys is this down here at this home screen. You can see all your smart devices. This one's on a separate Wi-Fi network right now, so that's why it's blank. But you can go in here and smart, add smart, and this is where it gets kind of cool. You can see automation. You click automation, and then pretty much up here you can set an automation type of schedule. So this one, and when any of these conditions are satisfied, execute the following. So if we go in here, we can tell it you can work by certain conditions. So like temperature, I was thinking for that block heater. So you guys can see I'm in Alabama. It sets up the Alabama, and you can go in here and get a better idea of where you're located. And you can go in here, smaller than, equals, or greater than, and say, I guess in a block heater, you want it pretty cold. So say I want it block heater to run at 32 degrees, and when it's smaller than that, so next, and when it's smaller than that, and I can add another certain time of schedule, and let's say if it's below 32 degrees, and let's say if you get up at like, set that the morning, and set it, let's say 6 o'clock. Next. So if it's the temperature is below 32 degrees and it's 6 o'clock in the morning, then I want to, let's see, turn my air compressor on. Switch on. So there you go. So if that reads, so when any of these conditions are satisfied, so if the temperature is less than 32 degrees and it's 6 o'clock in the morning, turn the compressor on. So that's what I was thinking would be really good for a block heater, is you can have it set up like that so your car or tractor or whatever you guys are using can be prepared for when you go out in the morning. And you can manually override this stuff as well. So maybe you get up earlier and you don't want to wait on it. You can go in and flick it on or off, set it on a timer, and do things such as that. And of course, this would be good for lights. And the longer you think about it, the more ideas you can think of what you can control with it. But I wanted to go over here and show you guys how quick it actually responds. So over here, I have it hooked up to my Makita compressor, which is 1500 watts. The switch is rated to 1800. So if I go under here and I flick the power button, it'll kick my compressor right on. Flick it right off, on, off. It's instantaneous, you guys. So it's pretty cool. You can just stick them in line like that, run them over, and this way I can shut off my compressor during the night, or I can set it on a schedule to cut off at 6:19 and don't come back on until maybe I manually turn it on, or I can tell it to, back in the morning, I can tell it to come on, say, 8 o'clock in the morning. And of course there's a switch on the compressor, so it's not going to run continuously at that time. But that's essentially what I was thinking would be really cool for these. And the more time you have to think about it, the more ideas you can think of what you can put it on. Maybe you have kids and want to control electronic time. You can cut off a TV or a cable box or something like that. And I'll just show you guys. I can turn off my Wi-Fi here. So you can see Wi-Fi disconnected. I have Verizon, so I'll give a second for Verizon to take over. And these also work on data or any type of Wi-Fi. You don't have to be on the same Wi-Fi network as the device. So I go in here and click this. You guys can hear through data. I've just turned on my air compressor. Click it again, turns right off. So you don't have to be connected to the same Wi-Fi. It's ported through out. So I'm not really sure the internet safety of that, but it is ported out and you can control it anywhere. I mean, you could be, I'm in Alabama, you could be in Australia and I could flick on my air compressor if I wanted to, or whatever I have it hooked to. So I figured these would be really cool, especially now we're getting close to Christmas time. Get them for Christmas, great for doing Christmas lights. I've replaced some of the mechanical timers in my house I have on lights, which are really noisy. I have the old analog style. They kind of look like those really old thermostats where they make a grindy noise all day long. And so I removed those and installed these, and they work great, flawlessly. And it's just kind of fun to turn it on and off with your finger. So yeah. So like I said earlier, I will include a link in the description where you can purchase these at. It'll be Amazon, and you should, through my channel, get a discount. Of course, that will be an affiliate link, so the channel does make a tiny bit of money. It doesn't impact your price at all. Actually, it should make your price lower, but it gets a tiny little bit of money for the channel, and that'll, of course, will go to making more reviews of equipment, trucks, tractors, all different types of stuff you guys want to see. So go ahead, check these out. Pretty reasonably priced, pretty cool. Of course, you can control them with Alexa, and just if you think about it, you can think about all the different possibilities you guys can hook these up to and control or automate. I mean, humidity, you could hook it up to a humidifier and have a humidifier run. And air conditioner, maybe you have a box air conditioner and you want it to come on at a certain time. Limitless possibilities of what you guys could do and control. But thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe. Glad you made it through this video. If you did, if you're interested in purchasing these, check out the link below and the promo code to get a discount. But thanks for watching. Comment, rate, and subscribe.